virtual listeners and watchers now?
Yes, we're going to have to plug it every single time. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. We're now on the YouTube.
We are on the YouTube.
And the TikTok, so look us up. Thank you, Nicole.
Now you get a visual to go along with these amazing words that we spit out to you. These little drops of knowledge.
Yes.
Like you're going to get to see us too.
Yep.
So how has your week been?
It is.
Because I really haven't seen you.
No, it's been super crazy, actually. It's been just, as always, just go from start to, from beginning to end. But I did make time for my workout class yesterday. I was like, I have to go. And so that's always good. You have to make time for that.
I'm going to say that's my mom hack. I'm going to tell you my mom hack now, which is I love booking my Pilates class for later in the day. I've always been a morning workout person, but I found with booking Pilates later in the day, it forces me to leave the office. So that's my mom hack. Like as a working person, like if you have a class that you are going to get charged if you cancel at the last minute, you're leaving the office.
Yes, you got to go.
I mean, sometimes you're not, but you got to go.
Pack it up, pack it in. That's what Nicole says all the time.
Yeah, Kathleen's always, she's like, I'm packing it in. I'm like, pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin.
That's my warning for everybody in the office that I'm leaving for the day.
So we need to catch up a little bit because I have not been in the office because I was at a conference this weekend, and you had a conference a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
And that is pretty much what we want to talk about on today's podcast is work travel, specifically conferences, because I feel like conferences can get even a little dicier than just work travel.
Yes.
And they're not bad things. They just can get.
You just have to have a wit about yourself. Is it a wit about yourself? You just have to have, maybe the Prosecco's talking to me.
So don't drink so much Prosecco. You can't talk on work trips. Like rule number one.
No,
that's just rule number one.
That is rule number one. You have to have your wherewithal 100%, not only for safety reasons, but so you don't embarrass yourself or you're not like the talk of the conference the next morning over coffee. That's like the worst thing that you can do. And I think you've worked so hard on your reputation and to get where you are and to be invited somewhere to attend this conference. The last thing you want to do is be like, oh, we're not going to bring her back.
So I will also say that is a hard line. That's a hard line to hold because when you go on work, I think if you're going to if you're solo traveling, you can keep yourself together, right? Yeah. I think even if it's a business thing that you're traveling with one or two other people, you can, you're not, but a conference, that's when shit gets crazy. People lose their minds.
It's just interesting to see the dynamics. And I always like to be the person in the corner eating the popcorn, watching it all go down. I'm like, this is not going to bode well. And I just mind my P's and Q's. I don't want to get involved. I don't want to have to answer any questions, but I do want to be like, what happened last night?
So I'm generally in the mix, which is the problem. I am not crossing any lines, but I am in the mix. And that's where I know this is going to sound terrible, but I was thinking about this. Late night drinking at a conference is kind of the equivalent of golfing. For in business.
Please explain.
So in business, a lot of times, the guys all go out and they go golfing. And I'm not saying women can't golf, and I've got golf clubs and I can golf or whatever, but I don't enjoy it. Men love it. I don't really understand it. They're born with an extra gene or something, but they love going to golf. And so a lot of times that's something that is typically male, right? So you have men and decision makers, and a lot of business gets done on the golf course, even today, right? Not always, but I think somewhat. And then conferences, late night drinking at conferences, every time I rolled in from a dinner or whatever, everybody's drinking at the bar.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And no one is no one's messy. No one is ugly or weird.
Yet.
But women, our tolerances are lower. We metabolize liquor not as quickly as men. We don't have the same kind of structure, muscle. And we don't, it hits us, and we're smaller generally.
And by the way, you probably went to dinner. You probably already had 2 glasses of wine before you hit the bar at the end of the night.
But, this was a great conference, and we but people were at the bar, and and every conference you go to, people end up at the bar. They just, So you just need to watch actually, I'm going to give a second mom hack.
Okay.
And that is you can order just a soda.
Mm-hmm.
No one knows that's not a Tito's and soda.
That is true.
You can just order a soda with a lime in it and little like little straws
Grenadine.
sticking out of it, or a little. You could put some cranberry in there. That would
Cranberry
actually taste
juice
good.
would be
And you'd be like,
perfect.
I'm having a little
Exactly.
a little.
I don't think grenadine's not alcohol, is it?
No,
I don't know. I'm
think
not a
it's
grenadine
No, because
person.
they put that in Shirley Temples.
Okay.
Because that would then be really inappropriate.
Right.
But so
I'd probably get more high off the sugar than the alcohol.
no, for sure. They're not going to, they wish there was alcohol in there because those kids would be going to sleep.
Exactly.
They're bouncing off the walls. They're
Yeah.
like, I just had red dye number 5. And
Exactly.
I'm like, woo, on a 10. So, okay. So let's talk about how to conduct yourself, or best practices when you are traveling.
Okay.
And I think number 1 is give yourself a curfew.
Oh, yeah. Well, especially if you're traveling, if we're West Coast people. So if you're going to the East Coast, that's actually kind of dangerous because 8 o'clock here could be 12 o'clock depending on, it'll be 11 o'clock.
3 hours.
They're 3 hours. And it could be that you're out there hanging out and you're like, oh, it's only 8 o'clock. And meanwhile, it's 11 o'clock at night and you're like, shoot, I have to be up at 5:30 in the morning, which is really 2:30.
So you need to go in with a game plan.
Yes.
I think when you go into a conference, you have to go in with a game plan of I'm not going to go to bed later than X amount any night. And 3 a.m. is not the correct answer. Okay. 3 a.m. is not the correct answer.
No, not
Let's
at all.
back it down.
Woo.
11.
I don't think I've ever in my entire life at a conference stayed out until 3 a.m. Even when we went to Honky Tonkin in Nashville, we were still in bed by 11 p.m.
I think Honky Tonkin in Nashville is a great example of how you can have fun.
Mm-hmm.
You can have some alcohol.
Yes.
You can be out in a party atmosphere and it's good.
Right.
It doesn't have to take a dark turn. You don't have to be out until 3 a.m. You don't have to be doing shots with the, VP of HR or whatever.
Right.
You need, which would be inappropriate, but there's anyway, there's a lot
There's
of that.
so many.
There's so much of that. So, so I say rule number 1 is give yourself a curfew.
Mm-hmm.
Also, rule number 2 as a woman, this one is hard, but I think you have to have a travel buddy or an accountability partner. And it doesn't have to be something formal or weird, but so for instance, when we travel together, we share a hotel room.
Yes.
When I travel to retirement conferences, I will share a room with Aaron Hall. Now I've been dating, and that man is also in the retirement industry, so I've been sharing rooms with him. But there is a comfort to someone knowing you made it back to your hotel room.
100%.
Now, I know you could text
Yes.
or whatever, but if you're dead, someone could still use your face and then text the last person that you look through your text and be like, oh, I'm going to text them. I made it home
You just
safe.
gave the serial killers who listen to Mom's podcast ideas.
This is not a serial killer idea podcast.
No,
this is how to beat the serial killers.
But, talking about safety, what's really important also is, speaking of when we were in Nashville, we went to the elevators and I had forgotten something. And so I'm like, I'll meet you downstairs. But at the same time, a gentleman came off the elevator. I was already walking down the hall and he was right behind me. And this isn't a hall it's a narrow hall that's kind of a square. So there was really nowhere to go except for around. So I'm in my brain that processes serial killer scenarios, I'm like, this room could be his. He could just grab me and throw me in the room and no one would ever know. And so I was doing my fast Peg Bundy walk and
in your high heels.
In my high heels back to our room. I was motherfucker, don't mess with me. So it's just being aware of your surroundings.
There's another amazing podcast called, why am I blanking on? It's My Favorite Murder. And
yes.
Yeah. And they gave some advice. Those 2 women who are co-hosts gave some great advice.
Karen and Georgia.
Yes. And this is great. I just told someone at this conference that advice, which is because I've had that same experience where I'm walking down a hall. I've actually had an experience where I was in an elevator and I got off and the man got off.
Ugh, I do not
and
like
it's
that.
and there's no one else in the hallway and walking down. And and because of Karen and Georgia, I stopped. I just stopped and I looked to the side. I just stood to the side and I'm like, you know what? You can go first.
Yeah.
And he knew. He goes, okay, I'm not and I'm like, oh, I'm sure you're not. So Karen and Georgia gave this advice, which is when you're in that situation, because like before I had heard this advice, I probably would have just kept walking and been like, you're just being silly. You're just being silly.
Mm-hmm.
But what they said is like, look, if you don't feel comfortable in a situation with a man, you just like I did, like you stop walking, you tell him he can go ahead, or you can say, yeah, I'm not comfortable, or I'm going to get back in my car, or whatever it is. Right.
Yeah.
And if they're a good guy, you can just apologize to them later and be like, hey, you're a good guy. I didn't know. And if they're a good guy, they'll be like, oh, I totally get it. Yeah. I want my sister and my daughter to be safe too, or whatever. Right. And then if they're a bad guy, like you just didn't get murdered.
Right.
So
it's so true. And by the way, their tagline is SSDGM. Tell them what it means.
Stay sexy, don't get murdered.
Exactly.
And they helped me stay sexy. This guy I don't think was a murderer, but like you never know.
You don't know. Murderers don't have a hat that says BFD murderer.
Which is the hat that I had. It wasn't BFD murderer, but it was also, maybe I shouldn't have done that at the conference, but it was a hit. At the conference, we had a event at the Cowboy Stadium, and we had all kinds of different things you could get like made, and one of them was a hat, like with like
it was like a trucker hat, right?
It's like a trucker hat, and they were like spray painting it.
That reminded me of the 80s, like being at the fair, like how they do the fluorescent paint. It was so adorable.
It was adorable. So we got so they were like, do you want to put your name on it? Do you want to put like a saying on it? And I was like, I'll put my initials on it. And I was like, BFD. So I'm like walking around with this BFD trucker hat. Maybe not the best move, but I feel like it was really well received.
Yeah, so. I think it's hilarious. How many people asked you what it meant?
No one. Everyone.
Good.
Everyone was, or they were smart enough to just like look it up on ChatGPT.
Okay, look it up on ChatGPT.
Yeah, or they were like, well, actually, one of the one we were with was like, or your name is like Brenda Francis Dixon, right? I'm like, yeah, that's true. Like, so I think holding yourself accountable with a curfew. I think having a friend. Now we stay in rooms together because I like having someone know that I made it home alive, you know?
And guess what we do once we get our face wash and get in our pajamas? This is the best part.
Oh, we're going to have to post this picture.
Yeah.
But we put 90s rap music on.
We do that that's when we're getting ready to go out for the dinner. But when we get back and go to bed and brush our teeth and wash our face, we watch Forensic Files.
We watch Forensic Files with the noise app on.
Yes, we do.
So also if you travel, like that is another huge hack is the white noise app.
Yes.
It's free. Download it. That shit will change your life. Like I even, if I'm like staying at a friend's house or something, I'd put the white noise app on. But definitely in hotels, like, you know, there's elevators, people walking around, there's doors slamming, there's, you know.
Well, you know what's really interesting is that the person, we just talked about this in one of our podcasts about like music in the office, and he was out of the office today and it was sterile. And I'm like, can we play white noise? Can we play something?
Oh, Steve was out. So like, so no music was
no music. It was nothing.
Oh no.
I know. It's just such a different vibe. And sometimes it's okay because you just have to, you know, people just have stuff to do. So it's fine to work in the silence, but it's just
I love
different.
us having music.
I do too. I really do. And sometimes I have to be like, okay, can we change the music? Because it's like, by the way, I cannot do like 80s metal bands on Mondays. I'm like, you save that. That's a Friday. That's a Friday afternoon. Yeah,
we can hear Def Leppard Pour Some Sugar on Me.
No.
Like Thursday or Friday. Thursday even. But
Monday,
like beginning of the week.
No.
I'm still gearing up.
Oh,
like
God.
I need like some Belle Biv DeVoe to get me in the mood.
Yes.
I might need some like, you know, some early Bobby Brown.
Exactly. Something, a pep in your step, but not like, but to me, it reminds me, maybe it's something for him that gets him going. Like, you know, it's like, again, here's another Will Ferrell quote. It's that song. He was like, you got to play the music. It gets the people going. I don't even know what song that's from, but I know.
You're channeling Will today.
I am.
I love that.
Will Ferrell, I love you.
So, so this is interesting. So we talked about, buddy system accountability. So this is the funny story I was going to tell you from this conference.
I've been waiting. I was like, she started 3 times and she's like, I got to save it.
There are a couple, but this one was good. So, and this epitomizes that when you are a woman at a conference, like we all need to watch out for each other. Mm-hmm. So if your girlfriend has been overserved, if somebody needs to leave, like be that person. Be that person who's like, I'm going to take you back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Let me go. Like, let me take care of this for you.
Do you play Diddy when you take him back to the hotel?
No, I do not.
Do you know the song Back to the Hotel?
No, I thought you meant Diddy because he's like a total serial sexual offender.
I was not talking about P. Diddy.
Or maybe he's not. I don't know. He was acquitted. Whatever. Don't sue me. But like, no. I mean, Diddy, I'm not playing Diddy.
Okay.
Anything.
I wasn't speaking of
Sean.
Back to the Hotel.
Back to the hotel. Meet me in the hotel. No, that's not Diddy.
It goes do Back to the Hotel. Oh wait, maybe it's who sings
that? No, that's not P. Diddy.
No, I know, but I think the person was Diddy before Diddy was Diddy. Hold on, I gotta look it up.
Okay. I mean, look, when it comes to 90s rap, like I really expect you to be on your A game. And this is like just kind of a disappointment that you're okay, here's the story. Here's the story. So
it's In Too Deep.
Yeah, it's not P. Diddy.
Well, no, I wasn't saying it was P. Diddy. I just thought it was his name was Diddy for some reason. And I wasn't talking about P. Diddy because remember he used to be Puffy back in the day. And I was singing Puff Daddy. It was In Too Deep. So the people who were screaming In Too Deep and not Diddy, you were right and I was wrong. And my husband's like, ding, ding, ding. She never says that.
And your girlfriends from high school are like, oh my God, Kathleen, come on.
Sorry, people.
Okay, so here's like an awesome example of like good girl move. But it has a funny twist at the end. Okay. So at this conference, I was on a panel, and we have a good friend. Her name is Pam, and she works at corporate, and she helps organize all these big events across the country.
She's amazing.
And she was sitting in the back of the room, and I'm up on stage, and there were drinks after the like day had ended, and she comes over to me and she's like, "I have to tell you, I need to warn you." I was in the back of the room. There was like an older gentleman and he was just videoing you.
Oh.
It was just when you talked. And then when anyone else would talk, he would turn it off. But then when you would talk, he would video again. And she's like, I need to find out who it is because if you end up dead, it's this guy. I know it's this guy.
Oh my God, though, that's scary.
Well, and I was like, you know me, I'm like, I mean, well, first of all, it was a financial advisor conference. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could take every guy in this room, like with an arm behind,
right?
Like Pilates Nicole, like Dorchester Nicole, like, this is a weak group of men,
right?
Anyway, so the next day she comes up to me and she's like, oh my God, Nicole, I found out who the guy was. And I'm like, oh, who was it? And she goes,
who was it?
It was Glenn in your office.
Oh my God. He's not the creepiest man that ever.
He was just videoing so he could be like, oh, I'll give you some video clips or whatever, right? Like he's the sweetest man ever.
I love him so much.
I love him so much too. And that was but
did you tell him the story?
So Pam was like, don't tell him.
Oh, okay.
Whatever you do.
And we're podcasting it.
I know, well, no, but then I said, Pam, I get that. But he is going to think it's hilarious.
He is. He's such a great sport.
He is.
He's
and he totally laughed about it. But now he keeps making jokes about like him being this creepy guy. Like, did she think I was a creeper?
I'm going to have to say something. I'm like, oh my God, I heard you were creeping.
Anyway, it was great that obviously Glenn is not.
She had your back.
Yeah.
She thought
it was some guy who I didn't know at all.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be different if it was like Sean or like someone who like knew me. Film like she didn't know this guy. Anyway, but that's case in point that like
she had your back.
And it's the tribe. Mm-hmm. Like when you're on the road as a woman, like unless you're in an all-female conference, and again, I'm a financial advisor. Only 20% of financial advisors are women.
Right.
If you have daughters who are thinking about going into financial services, please have them call me.
Yes.
Because I will encourage them to do so. Like we need more women in this industry. But so it's a very male-dominated industry. And this happened to be a great scenario where just a girlfriend was watching my back, right? And like it turned out to be funny. But but there have been dark times. And I want to talk, I'm going to give an example. Like we've talked about this before. Like we have a dear friend and she was in leadership at a very large nonprofit organization that is industry specific. Right. And she was at an event at a conference earlier this year. And there was another gentleman who was in leadership. And he was talking to her about their faith. their faith in God and this work in the ministry. And like, look, I don't know, but if you're leading with that, like my spidey senses are already going up. I'm like, dude, what?
Right.
Come on, come on. But she really does have a deep faith.
She does, 100%.
So she's talking to him and she keeps feeling what she thinks is his jacket hitting her vagina. And so she keeps kind of moving. She's like, oh, his jacket's like, that's weird. So she keeps moving and she makes a little joke like, it's like we're dancing. Well, there were two people across the room. One of them was also a former leadership in this organization. And another one was a very well-known woman in her industry. And they went over to her. They were like, you need to come talk to us. Took her on the side of the room. And they were like, we've been watching him. He had his fingers out, like down next to his side. And he was hitting her vagina with his fingers.
That is so disgusting.
And he didn't just do it to her. He did it to like 3 other women who were very powerful women.
That is just
in our
ridiculous.
industry.
Like who? Is he at this organization? Is he like trying to make his way up? Is he on the top? Like where is he in this?
I don't know him, but
Okay.
he is. But from what I know, like, and even my boyfriend knows him. Like he is well known and well respected.
Wow. That is just insane.
So I can't say what is going on in his personal life.
Right.
I can't say what's going on with him, like from a psychological standpoint right now. But what I can say is that our friend was the only one who went on record about what had happened.
Wow.
And thank God there was a man across the room who also went on record to say that he had seen this. And we were talking about it afterwards, and she's like,
and by the way, that is a very brave thing to do. That is a very brave thing to do. And you should never feel any shame. You should never feel any guilt because that's the right thing to do because that's just insane.
Because you need to stop it before it happens to the next woman, right?
And it could be that's what they say, that's why we listen to murder podcasts because they escalate. It starts with this and then it turns into that. And then all of a sudden someone's murdered.
But also if this guy
Not
got off
that he's a murderer.
But
I'm
also
just saying.
if this guy got off the elevator behind you, you'd be like, oh, he's fine. He's wearing a suit. He's clean cut.
Yeah.
Like he looks like he's in
Ted
church.
Bundy was handsome too.
He was handsome, right? But like, so anyway, it was, and the sad thing is like there were 3 other women this happened to, and they didn't come forward. And I don't blame any of them.
No.
Because they all had situations where it's like, is it worth it?
Right.
Like what's really going to happen? Because let me tell you, like nothing really happened.
Yeah.
Nothing really happened to this guy.
But now I think that
like he's
people are
not
aware of
on
that.
leadership anymore.
Yeah.
But like, and he got let go from his job, which I think that was like secondary. Like, I don't think that was because of this, but like nothing really happened to him. And I think it was actually handled incredibly poorly. But the point is that like this stuff happens to powerful women. Like, look, if our friend was like a 20-year-old internal, like, whatever, like just didn't have a lot of like juice in the industry, but this is like a woman who's like top of her game from a professional standpoint, super well known in the industry. All these other women were, in fact, when our friend called to tell me like kind of how things were resolving themselves, I'm like, I am so sorry. Cause she was like, no one else is coming forward and I get it. But I was like, I am so sorry he did not grab my pussy. Because I would be right there with you.
You're like, you probably would have said something right then and there, honestly.
I would have taken him the fuck down.
And by the way.
But she didn't know. And she would have too.
Yes.
She didn't know.
She just didn't know what was happening. Just insane. But by the way, I am really proud of a lot of women in our industry because there was being in the financial world, it is male dominated. And there was a salesperson who was in our office who hugged one of the young women in the office, and one of the older associates saw this and was like, you cannot do that. That is not appropriate. This is, and he felt like accosted, but he was trying to be friendly. Wow. But it's just not okay. And I was proud of her to say something about that.
But it's like, you've got to like, you have to have your tribe around you, right? Like my friend had my back for like Creeper, who turned out to be like the sweetest man on the planet. But it could have been
you
a
never
sketchy
know.
You never know. And then
know.
like, our friend had a couple of people who like pulled her aside and had her back. But like when you're in a conference situation, there's just like people are away from home and they lose their minds.
Right.
They lose their minds and
and that's not just for conferences right now. And I wish, Dale, I should have listened to more. There is a thing right now during college. The first few weeks of college, they call it something where that's the time where women are being, roofied or, taken advantage of or whatever it is. There's a certain time period because they're getting to know the campus, they're getting to meet new friends, they're trying to get comfortable with everything. And it's a thing. And so my husband had this conversation with our daughter about it. It was like, please be aware. There's this time period and you need to be aware of everything that's going on. Yeah. It happens.
So conferences, I think are, and I do think you have to go to conferences. So I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to make women
be aware.
Yeah. Just be aware.
That's
it. Just be aware, but like you have to go to conferences. Cause like this conference I just went to, for instance, like it's not even necessarily the content during the day, but it's all of the networking and the relationships and the information that you get from the one-on-one connections.
Right.
And so if you, and a lot of women don't go to conferences, like, because we are shouldering the burden at home. We have, all sorts of like, we're like, oh, we can't leave work. We can't leave the kids. What, how's everyone going to function?
Right.
But like, you need that time away.
And
quite frankly, like, when the kids were little, it was nice to have a break every once in a while.
Can I tell you something that was so adorable? So I was packing one time to go to a conference, and Brooklyn was she put remember those Beanie Babies with the big eyes?
Yes,
everything was rare. They were all rare. They had to have that one. Anyway, she gave me one with a sticker and she put it in my suitcase. And then Bailey saw that, and Bailey's like 18 months younger than Brooklyn. So Bailey went and grabbed a diaper and put it in my suitcase. So I took it with me because what else am I going to do? Is that not the most precious thing? I even Facebooked about it. And that's why you should Facebook memories with young children, because they come up 15 years later and you're like, I remember that. And as a matter of fact, I took the Beanie Boo and I took a picture at the airport on my way home. And I was like, I'm on my way home, and, had Facebook about it. Is that so sweet?
Tears in my eyes. I love that. But it also makes me think about packing.
Oh, yeah.
Because
we try to do carry-on as much as possible.
I will pack for 10 days in a carry-on.
I know.
And 2 carry-ons. That's it. But Kathleen, tell the story.
Oh my God, it was like the morning we're leaving for our trip. And my carry-on
This was like
is
a year
tiny.
ago, 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago. I think we were going to Nashville, actually. And I think that's what my dilemma was.
No, we're going to Vegas.
Oh, it was Vegas?
It was Vegas.
So I was trying to pack like...
And we're in Phoenix. So
yes, it's just right there. However, you have to think about your going out clothes. And like we have a work happy hour, then we have a dinner afterwards. And then you have like, you're going, like there's just the whole thing. So I try to really minimize it. And I was struggling terribly. And I text Nicole, it's probably like 5 a.m. And I'm like, girl, I am struggling. I'm going to have to I'm going to have to check a bag. And by the way, if I checked my suitcase, it would be so half full. There would be so much room. So I knew I was overpacking. So I'm like, she's like, this is what you need. 3 work outfits. And I don't remember what you said.
Like bring a pair of cute shoes.
Yes.
And
that's what we did. I was like, all right. So I took everything else that was extra. And by the way, here's my mom hack. My grandmother taught me when I was young, when I was in high school, that in order to pack more in your suitcase, you actually, instead of just putting it in bulk, like folded, you just roll it up and tuck it into little rows of clothes.
So, okay, let's get into that because so by the way, I totally overpacked like on this last trip and I was, and I rolled up for my flight literally as they were boarding.
Oh gosh.
And Glenn and Nick were there, and I'm like, I'm like, oh, are we boarding? They're like, right now, walk on the plane with us. So I did, and then I was like, you guys, I totally overpacked. I still had a carry-on, but I swear to God, it weighed like 70 pounds.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, and it was a 6 a.m. flight, so I'm like, I'm not even going to try to mess with this. I just need one of you to like lift this up for me.
Yes.
So
it's so true because
coming and going, they've lifted it up for me.
Thank God you have them, because there's been so many times where I've been by myself and I am like, I look around and I'm like, all right, we can do this. So I lift it up, and sometimes I have to kind of put it on the
I do
chair.
that too. Sometimes I put it on the
well, I put it on the
headrest. the headrest of the chair.
And then throw it the rest of the way up there.
Yeah.
I've done that before. And
it's like doing a deadlift. Like you got to
yes!
and then you're like,
So true.
So, okay. So packing. Okay. So that is, I would say my mom hack is not the rolling. My mom hack is you lay everything absolutely flat.
Okay.
And I don't know where I learned that. I think it might have been from a crazy boyfriend in my 20s, but it works. So you lay everything super flat. And that is, and then you do, then like, there are some like bulkier items. Like I packed a longer jean jacket because we were going to have.
You're like Joey from Friends. You like put all the clothes on and get on the plane.
With the hats and
everything. You're like, don't mind me.
But I'm
going to stay warm.
I would say, and actually, you know what? There is an awesome bag. I'll post it on our socials, but there's an awesome bag on Amazon. It's cheap.
And is it the one that sucks all the air out of it?
No. Oh. This is like a magic backpack. It is a backpack. You can wear it as a backpack. But then you like take it off and you put it down and you unzip it and it's like a suitcase.
I've seen that.
And it fits under your seat.
Do you have it?
I have it.
Did you try it?
It's kind of falling apart, but it was like $35, so I should get another one.
Right.
But it works.
Oh.
So that's how I can do like a 10-day trip.
Yeah.
Is when I have
That's
like a roll-on, a roller bag, and then I have a roll-on, like deodorant. When I have a roller bag and then I have that. So
that's smart.
So did you ever have to travel on a kid's birthday?
Oh gosh, actually, I don't think I ever have.
I had to do it twice.
Oh.
Once was just for that. Once was when I turned 50 and was in Iceland. Like that was like I couldn't control that. But once was a work trip and another mom. So this is another mom hack. You're getting all kinds of mom hacks today.
Yes.
So my other mom hack was another mom had told me that I forget who it was, but she brought signs that said "Happy Birthday, Sam."
Yes.
And then and I did this in Iceland with my girlfriends, but I also did this like in San Diego. I think it was for another conference that we went to. Harry and I were at it. And like, so at dinner at night, like I had like the whole kitchen staff take pictures, or I had like the security guards at TSA take pictures. I had, like anytime I was anywhere, I was just like the wholesalers, like I had anyone, funny little like people in the street just taking pictures and little videos like "Happy Birthday, Sam."
That's so cute.
And saying that to him.
Oh,
I don't know how much it worked because he like doesn't call or write anymore.
He's just a teenage. Well, he's definitely not a teen. Well, yes, he's still a teenager.
Oh my God. Can I tell you something else funny from this conference? So one of the guys that I saw who's like works for our company in corporate, he was like, "I listened to your podcast." He's like, "And now I can't get Teen Hole out of my brain."
I know who it is.
You do?
Yes. Initials are Paul. Oh, I just said it.
Not initials. That's his name.
Sorry.
No, it's not him.
Oh, really?
Paul S?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
It's someone else.
Oh, gosh.
We are popular in St. Louis.
Yay!
Yes. I saw Paul S.
Oh, he's so wonderful.
I mean, literally, if I could bottle that man.
He is genuine. He's a genuine person.
He's so smart.
Yeah.
And he's just like such like,
yeah.
His energy is so awesome.
It is.
Anyway,
he's great.
So that's funny. So he's listened to Teen Hole too?
Yes. Teen Hole is popular. I don't even think I've finished listening to Teen Hole.
Teen Hole's a good one.
It is.
If you haven't listened or watched, go back.
Check it
out. Listen and watch. Okay. So I was trying to pull up, because when we were talking about doing this, I was like, okay, I know I want to cover this.
Oh, I know what you wanted to cover also. So also when you're in conferences, like, when I went to St. Louis a few weeks ago, we had probably about 145 individuals that were meeting with like senior leadership essentially. And they're like, "This is what we're doing for you. This is what we're doing for you." And I literally, after people were telling us what they were doing for us, I felt like we were the firing squad. And it just got so much. And it was like, oh, this is uncomfortable. Like nobody should be saying this. There is a platform that you can use to say what you want to say without having to sound so angry or like just, I don't even know what it is. So anyway, it got to the point where the moderators were like, okay, everybody I'm like, wait, I want to say something. And I said, listen.
And they were like, no. Because they were like, everyone is like so awful. But you were like, I will be heard.
Yeah. Well, I'm sitting right next to them. So I felt the power and I will go. So I just said, listen, when it is 3:00 Western time and 5:00 Midwest time, Central Standard Time, and I'm having a Friday high net worth issue that needs resolved ASAP, I can call you and you guys are there. There is somebody on your team that is there that's going to help us and you get us through it. And I appreciate you guys so much for that. And everybody applauded. And that was a great way to end that segment. But I was like, holy hell, I feel bad for them. I'm so glad you remembered that one. Because when you go to conferences, like if there are questions, like don't be a douche. No.
You can ask a question so many different ways.
Yes.
You can get the same information so many different ways. Those people who are sitting up there and you're like holding the gun at the firing squad, that is like, give people grace.
Yes.
Like they are feeling the heat up there.
Yes.
Like give that. You can hold people accountable. You can state what your issues are, but do it in a way that is like constructive. Because guess what? You're ruining it for everybody
100%.
else. Because that brings everybody else down.
Right.
And also like, what is it like when you're giving like a worker feedback that you're supposed to, what is that?
Constructive criticism.
But how do you like, it's like a sandwich. Like you're supposed to be like, tell them they did something well.
Yes.
And then you're like, with this. And then you end up like,
but you don't say but because then it negates what you tried to say, the positive thing, because all they're going to hear is after the but.
So you say like, Kathleen, you are doing an amazing job and I love everything that you've done. And I'd also love it if you could take some of that energy and enthusiasm and focus on this one area that I think has had some challenges.
Yes.
And then, then everything is going to rise to the level of the entirety of the work that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, then it's like, you're still telling someone you need them to fix something.
Yes. But you do it in a constructive constructive way that it's like, I always try to pull the positive out. Like, I know what you like. I know how you do. It's the feel, felt, found.
Feel, felt, found. Did they teach you that at Glamour Shots?
Yes, they did. So, but you just use it for them. I used it this week, and I'm like, this is, we have to be organized. You love being organized. You love your spreadsheets. This is what I envision. I think that you would run with this. And then she's like, yeah. And I started it and I'm like, and you can finish it.
Okay. Before we close anything out though, I have to just go on record as saying like, do not make out publicly.
Oh my gosh.
Even with your own damn husband or wife.
Well, it's really funny in our last conference, because there are a number of people in our corporate office who are married to each other. And the wife was telling me my husband wouldn't stay with me because he didn't want to be doing the walk of shame. I called it the walk of shame. I go, he didn't want to do the walk of shame. You guys are married forever and have like grown children. She's like, he would not.
I'm not even so much like the walk of shame is like not ideal. But like, do not be making out on the dance floor in Nashville.
No
one I know did that.
No.
But like, I heard a story. Oh, I don't even know if I can tell it. I'm not going to tell any names, but I heard a story.
Tell me after. Oh,
okay. You want me to tell?
No, tell it now, but don't use names.
I'm not going to use names. Okay. So it was an industry event for like, and there was a guy and a gal there, and they were like, they had been overserved and they were like getting it on.
But were they together?
No.
Oh, Lord.
At that moment they were. And they were like, it was like, I mean, they had like a circle of people just like
were they all like this? Like,
they were all like, ah!
Like, you go get her and I'll get him.
So someone went over to like one of the senior leaders and was like, can someone do something about this? So he goes over and he's like, dude, you got to stop. And this guy was so drunk. He goes, dude, stop cock blocking me. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
Do not.
Don't be that guy. But that happens.
Oh gosh.
That happens.
That is terrible.
So that is why if you've got to be accountable to yourself, you got to have other people accountable, and you just need to
Be appropriate.
And here's the thing, like that guy's not a bad person. Like the guy who is like making that, like I'm sure he's an awesome human being. Like that actually sounds pretty funny.
Okay,
like I probably want to hang out with him. Like not with a lot of alcohol involved, but like he sounds funny, right?
Yes.
But like just there's a time and a place, right? So do that with your girlfriends or on your guys' weekends. Do not do that. Just don't do that.
At a conference.
And don't even like get in a situation. If you know you might get it, do not get in a situation.
No.
Give yourself, and here's the thing, if you have a deadline for yourself and you're like, oh, this is my curfew, like you're like, can't have that other drink.
Nope.
Go to bed.
I have one more wrap-up story to tell you, and this goes to safety. So I was really upset. So this is many years ago. It was probably the trip that my kids put like animals and diapers in my travel. Aww. Anyway, we're sitting there at the bar at the end of the day and we're all closing out. And so they're asking everybody's room numbers. So everybody's rattling their room numbers off. And so everybody says goodbye. We go to our rooms and I get a phone call to my room from some stranger with an Australian accent saying, hey, I saw you at the bar. Would you come down and have a drink with me? I was like, what? And I thought it was one of the other people. Was it Alex
Rodriguez?
It was not.
He was using a disguised voice.
Exactly. But so that freaked me out. So the next morning I went and said something to, I don't even know who I spoke to, but they ended up switching rooms. I ended up in this beautiful suite and I was like, but this hotel in New Jersey, it was like The Shining. It's all brick. It was just like, I felt more afraid that there was more rooms that someone could hide in.
Okay, but that is a really good, like, do not disclose in any way, shape, or form your room number.
No.
Like, just don't do it.
You just ask, like, if they ask you the room number, give me the receipt. I'll write my room number down. Do not say it out loud.
And then I'll close that little book up and I'll give it back to you and you need to take it.
Exactly.
So Kathleen dated Alex Rodriguez.
No, we did not.
Yes, you did date him.
We met when I was 19. We were teen holes.
You were a serious teen hole because you like ghosted Alex Rodriguez for some douche ex-boyfriend.
I know, it's so true.
But you ended up with Dale, so it all worked out.
I know. I won in the long run.
But I had to, and as a Red Sox fan, like I do not like Alex Rodriguez. And then after hearing that story, I'm like,
yeah,
you know what?
It took me forever to tell you that story. Actually, I think we've been
because you knew how much of a Red Sox fan, and you were like, she's not going to have any respect for me.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
So anyway, okay. So anything else you want to?
I don't think so.
Like I think we covered all of our.
Yes.
Like, don't dress like a hoochie mama.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, so this, I have to say, the conference I just got back from, the hotel, it was a bunch of financial advisors, and then it was the Chris Brown concert.
Yeah. That's quite a mix.
Lord. It was a mix.
Hilarious.
And so these girls were like gorgeous and like all decked out and their boobs and ass everywhere. And but I love that vibe. I'm like, I love that young, confident, like joy, embracing life, like lit, like going to my favorite concert.
Yes.
I like Chris Brown. I also struggled with like, the last I heard of him, he like beat the shit out of Rihanna. So I'm like, but then I guess he did some apology tour. I don't know. Everyone's forgiven him.
Okay.
I have no idea. I'm too old to know. It just like, it gave me pause. I was like, girl, should you? But anyway, what was I saying? Okay. So if you're at the financial advisor conference, you should not be mistaken for someone going to the Chris Brown concert.
No.
Like, if it's a couple buttons, like button an extra one up. And look, I know it post-COVID, everyone's loosey-goosey with dress code, but like just, you can still be sexy and pretty and like gorgeous.
Yep.
But like, go for that power look, not for like the, like I'm hoeing it out look. Like go for that, like I am a sexy, powerful woman look. So anyway. I'm probably going to get a lot of comments about that because
that's okay. I mean, you have to.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh,
look
at
what
the prop.
Okay, so
the prop.
When we were walking to the event, somebody dropped these on the sidewalk.
Oh my God, I love those. Those look like
someone's like Chris Brown's girlfriend called and she wants her glasses.
They're gonna be like, I lost those. Oh my God, that is hilarious.
And then I had these on with my VFD trucker hat.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Yeah,
I love it.
Really awesome. So anyway,
I
actually do like these. So they don't look bad, right?
No, not at all.
But they're just not me.
No, it's just a fun. Like if you're gonna go out or if you're gonna, that would be
if I was gonna go to pool.
Yeah, that's
Chris
perfect
Brown
for the pool.
concert or the pool.
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
that.
Anything goes at the pool. All right.
Okay. Do you?
Oh, yes.
We've had a million mom hacks. Do you have one good thing?
My one good thing is actually, I think that the one good thing this week has been that Brooklyn's finally settled in. The tears have finally stopped. Like she's starting to make friends. It's just, when your kids go away, you think they're just going to be, she's like, I'm not introverted. I'm like, girl, yes, you are. And so, but she's finally, I'm like, get out there. Her roommates were getting ready to go out last night. She wasn't invited, but I go, just go up there and ask them, where are you going? What are you guys doing? And they're like, oh, you want to come with us? Because they don't know. She had been sick this week, so they probably figured that she didn't want to go. But I go, you have to put yourself out there in a sense that you want to make friends. And so that's my one good thing. So she had a blast last night.
Oh.
Yeah, she had really a lot of fun. I was really happy. And she met your friend's daughter
she
today.
did?
Yeah, when I was on my way here, she's like, I'm on my way to go meet her. And
Oh
I
my
was
God.
like,
You
"That's
have to call me
awesome."
tomorrow and tell me
I
all
will.
about it because I'm
will.
dying because I
Yes.
love my friend's daughter. Like this is like,
I'm so glad.
I have you know what? I really do love my friends' daughters. Like
Yes.
my friends have really amazing daughters. And maybe that's because they've
and by the way, it's like, what I think is so great is like Brooklyn is working again, studying to work in a man's world. Like she wants to be an architect. So she's taking all these classes and it's, and look, there's only 90 kids that move forward next year. So we are doing a little shuffle with her major, but she's going to end up with the master's with the architect and go. So we have a plan now, which was last week was a little disheveled with the news of anyway. And here's another mom hack. Like our daughter decided to go to community college for a couple of years. She wanted to get her gen ed done and then take a couple of classes. And it turns out that those classes are not transferring, the ones she's specializing in architect, because it's an accredited school versus an unaccredited courses, apparently.
Oh.
So that's a whole thing. And to me, that is a money grab.
But the courses transfer, just not in her major.
Well, the general education transferred over. She just gets the experience.
Oh.
She got the experience. They don't transfer.
Oh, that is bullshit.
It's super bullshit. So anyway, that's a whole
Actually, that's a good mom hack. Like make sure if your kid goes to community college that you make sure that every one of those credits can transfer.
Yes.
To at least the state school.
That's exactly
like
it.
If you go to like a private school, like the rules are out the window.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
so
why I'm
look it
paying
up if it's accredited
$3 million a year for Sam to go to George Washington.
It's
You're welcome.
insane. Yeah.
My one good thing is after the divorce, I moved into this townhouse and I've lived there and I love it. And I have lived there for a year and I really haven't done anything. Like I moved in and got the carpets clean. Like that's it.
Yeah.
I just moved in and it was beautiful.
You changed the knobs. Like, okay, but
I did change the knobs.
Let me put it into perspective for normal people. Nicole doesn't just move in. Like she does things, but her normal things are people's like, I went out of my way to do things. So let's put that into context, okay?
Okay, that's a fair point.
Okay.
I will own that. I flew in my friend, the designer,
Yes.
to like help me with the move. So
she's like, I just moved in and cleaned the carpets. No, you didn't.
No. Like it was done.
Yeah.
So I'm flying my friend back out this week, my friend, the designer, and she's gonna, for the price of the air ticket, she's gonna help me like with some more stuff. But I've like lived in the house and then I'm like, you know what? I want to put my stamp on it. So I have a bunch of projects being done. And for the first time in my life, it's just what I want.
I love that.
I'm like, I want to paint my room this like forest green and put up this like crazy bird,
beautiful wallpaper.
tropical with like black background, like
Yes.
wallpaper and then
It's
crown
gorgeous.
molding and
It's
anyway,
gorgeous.
so I just got crown molding in.
It's like a boutique hotel. It's like a sanctuary.
It's very like, but it's like, and it's not going to be everyone's taste, but I'm like, I didn't have to like ask anyone.
No.
I don't care.
No.
Like, I'm like, do I want it? And
Yes.
anyway, so I'm just getting all these, like, I'm getting a feature wall in the downstairs living room. My house looks like Dexter lives at my house. Dexter the serial killer.
I love that show, by the way.
I haven't gotten totally into it. So I walked into my house and literally the
Sheets
whole
everywhere.
first floor
Yeah.
is just like in a sheet of like
plastic.
Yes. I'm like,
Mhm.
very dexterous. But anyway, so that I just feel like, all right, what do I want to do for myself?
There
And
you
that
go. That's
feels
perfect.
good. So anyway, I love you, sister.
I love you too. I can't wait to catch up like Monday, or I'm sure we'll chat over the weekend. There's just
Well, you got to call me and let
I
me
will.
know
I
how
will
like
tell
Ashlyn
you.
and Brooklyn
I
went.
will.
Like I said, I introduced them on a text and I was like, Ashland meet Brooklyn, Brooklyn meet Ashland. If you both were 50, I would be hanging out having wine with you. So since you're not, cute. Why don't you guys get together and get to know each other a little bit better?
I am so grateful for that. So thank you.
You are so welcome. Okay, so call me tomorrow. But anyway, I love you. And
I love you too.
We love all of you Working Mommy Manual listeners so much. So much.
So like, subscribe.
Oh, subscribe on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, and share.
And share.
Yes.
Okay. And
cheers.
Cheers. And Preston Holt.
Preston Holt.